You're listening to the Visionary Lifestyle Podcast, the show that's dedicated to raising consciousness and empowering you to activate your highest potential. I'm your host, Magda Freedom Rod. Dear beloved community, my rainbow warriors, this is a very special episode because it marks our 1-year anniversary of the show. I can't believe it's been a year since I launched the show. It's been quite the journey producing over 55 episodes for you while I travel the world. It's been a wonderful creative birthing experience, to say the least. I'm back in India now, where it all began last February when I managed to launch this baby with minimal technical experience, not to mention Wi-Fi and constant power outages in India. It's nothing short of a miracle that I got these episodes out at times. I remember sitting in a cafe in Rishikesh this time last year, trying to find enough Wi-Fi to watch a 3-minute YouTube tutorial on how to tag my episodes. A year later, I'm happy to report that I have literally circled the globe interviewing loads of inspiring teachers, new thought leaders, healers, health experts, conscious musicians, and yogis galore, all doing their part to uplift consciousness and create more unity, also known as yoga. Did you catch that? The word yoga means union. That is, in essence, what this show is all about. How can we create more union? Union of ourselves with the divine, union of our body to our breath, union of ourselves to one another, union of all people with this glorious planet we call Mother Earth, and union of all life with all life. That is what yoga means to me. Now, tribe, I am floored and humbled to know that we have listeners in over 40 countries. Say what? Massive love and shout out to my listeners in the United States, Australia, Ireland, the UK, Sweden, Canada, Japan, Germany, Morocco, Denmark, Norway, the Philippines, India, Spain, New Zealand, Netherlands, Mexico, Switzerland, Australia, Indonesia, France, the Bahamas, Turkey, Nicaragua, Qatar, South Africa, Belgium, Israel, United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Portugal, Guatemala, Panama, Mauritius, Finland, Fiji, Italy, South Africa, Brazil, and Romania. Wow, it's really inspiring to me to do this 1-year recap and study the statistics and see just how far this visionary message is reaching. Thank you for listening and for sharing the show. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you've learned that yoga is much more than moving your body into special positions. Yoga is a lifestyle and a way of being. It's a conscious path that has the potential to enrich your life in ways that you can't imagine. It has the power to bring you not only a healthy, fit body, but also inner peace, a deeper sense of self, and maybe even an enriched value system that supports the union that we've been talking about here. It's a path for the courageous, because when you truly embark on it, your life really begins to change. You become more conscious. I like to joke that yoga is the gateway drug to higher consciousness. It's not something you have to try for. It's just a natural evolution of your being that happens through the practice of yoga. More than even a path, yoga is a journey deep into the self. Yoga says that our suffering is caused by ignorance of our true nature. There are some interviews on the show with teachers like Laura Plum and Jules Febre talking about the 8 limbs of yoga. And there are more of those conversations in the pipeline. Please pay attention to this. It is critical information. It's really a big mission for me with the show, for you to understand this. What we're talking about here is true yoga. As laid out by the great sage Patanjali, yoga is like a tree with 8 limbs. Each limb is joined to the others, balancing and strengthening them as an integral part of a greater whole. The body of yoga grows by itself, spontaneously, when you practice it. And there's a reason yoga is called a practice. It requires your attention daily and even minute to minute. I met a guy on the street here in Goa last week and invited him to one of the workshops I'm teaching. I asked, "Do you practice yoga?" His response was perfect. Yoga constantly, asana sometimes. I love that. It's much broader and deeper than just the physical practice of stretching, moving, and balancing your body into different postures. True yoga is not just jumping and pumping yoga, as Vishvaji says in my interview with him. It's not just about fitness. The physical postures in yoga, the asana, which is, by the way, the third limb of yoga, does help keep the body clean and fit for the purpose of not vanity, but for us to be a healthy, pain and disease-free person so we can do the work we came here to do, to deliver our unique gifts without distraction of a sick or weak body. Yoga is a way of being in the world. In my interview with Kachi Ananda, she says yoga is a prayer in the body, and I couldn't agree more. Vijay Gopala reminds us that presence is the most important aspect we can bring to our practice. Ian Finn reminded us that we are nature, and the more we blur the lines between nature and us, the happier we can be. Seriously, when I re-listen to these interviews as I edit them, I gain so much wisdom from these knowledgeable teachers. In some cases, it's been 6 months since I did an interview, and when I come to edit it, I'm amazed at the depth of the wisdom being shared that I may not have been able to fully grasp in the moment of the interview. I find myself listening to them multiple times and taking notes because there's just so much value to absorb. So consider this. The first limb of yoga is the yamas, or ways of being in the world. The first 3 tenets in that first limb are ahimsa, which means non-violence or doing the least harm. Then we have satya, which means truth, or is sometimes translated as impeccability in thought, speech, and action. And asteya, integrity, which can be interpreted as not stealing or not laying claim to anything that's not ours. That can be something as simple as hogging a conversation and, quote, stealing someone's time for your own egoic need to talk. Like Sadhviji said in my interview with her, if people follow just these first 3 tenets of the first limb of yoga, imagine the world we would live in. Can we consider this for a moment? Non-violence, truth, and integrity. This is yoga. So this leads me to share with you that, as I see it, yoga has the potential to literally save the world. If people got on board with these values and did the physical asana practice to keep themselves well, and pranayama, the breath work, the 4th limb, to keep themselves clean physically and balanced mentally, we would automatically gain the other limbs, which culminate in the 8th limb, known as samadhi, or enlightened bliss. Last year at the International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh, where I recorded the 2nd season of the show and where I'm headed again in the coming weeks, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, Skyped in with a message. Mind you, this was very soon after Donald Trump was inaugurated as the new President of the United States, and the contrast between these 2 men couldn't be more stark. Modi, who does a full hour of yoga every morning at 5 a.m., spoke about how and why yoga is essential for people to practice. That it is and can be the solution our world so desperately needs. It is the path to union for all beings. So to recap the first year of the show, season 1 was recorded in California before I started my world tour, with brilliant guests sharing about healing, yoga, conscious media, yogic philosophy, and tons more. That was followed by a season in India at the International Yoga Festival with all the top teachers there. Then we had 2 full seasons in Bali, one with the teachers of the Bali Spirit Festival and another with the teachers and presenters at the New Earth Festival. And now coming up next is season 5, which was recorded in Thailand, California, New York, and Paris. This has truly become a worldwide heart expression of the visionary lifestyle message. Turns out there are people all over the world interested in being the change. Bravo, my rainbow warriors. Bravo. So I thought I'd share with you about some of my takeaways from a year of traveling the world. first one, just when you think you have things figured out, another plot twist unfolds. The only constant is change. Go with the flow has taken on a new meaning for me. If you haven't checked out my hashtag on Instagram yet, look for Magda's Magical Mystery Tour, because there couldn't be a better name for the journey I'm on here. Every day brings something unexpected. One of the most challenging things has been learning to go with the flow with ease and grace. You can't get attached to anything or anyone. I said at the beginning of 2018 that my word this year was going to be allow. That means I intend to allow the things meant for me to come to me without chasing them or really even trying to, quote unquote, manifest. The other side, of course, is allowing the things not meant for me to fall away with ease and grace as well. To loosen my grip when something I find myself attached to decides to leave. God knows I'm getting a lot of practice in these arenas. Another big takeaway is that everything is energy. I feel I've come to understand this on a deeper level than ever before. My interview with Michael Tellinger goes a bit deeper into this. You know, the most important aspects of any relationship, decision, business deal, anything is energetic resonance. I've certainly had some lessons lately that remind me to trust my intuition, because when I don't, it always comes around to bite me in the ass. So when we're talking about energetic resonance, that ties very closely into our intuition. And all the practices we talk about in the show are about cultivating and strengthening our intuition. The meditation, the asana practice, the conscious eating, all of this is to activate our highest potential and connect with our intuition. This is why the show is called Visionary, because it's about that third eye chakra, the visionary, which is where the intuition is. And this is energetic resonance. When something feels good, your intuition tunes in and says, this is a yes. I often say this is a full body yes. When something just resonates deeply in my body, my intuition says yes. Everything says yes. This is energetic resonance. And you know very well when an opportunity comes up or a person crosses your path or walks into a room and you get a big no. You know, this is not resonating. So paying attention to this and tuning into our intuition is just so critical. And I'll have to put a bunch of the stories in the book, because there are so many stories about intuition and the energetic resonance. So if you didn't catch the announcement that I made at New Year's, know that I'm recording notes on all my adventures and beginning to put them into a book. And I've decided to write 2 books this year, actually. The first is the Visionary Lifestyle Guide to Activating Your Highest Potential. So a guidebook, really, detailing the 7 steps to make for a healthy and fulfilling life. The second one is about my travels and what I've learned along the way. I'm coming up on, I'm going to say it out loud, my 50th birthday in just over a year from now. And I'd like to think I've accumulated some wisdom worth sharing, so stay tuned for that. I'm embracing my silver streaks in my hair and choosing to regard my aging as a beautiful unfoldment of a sage, wise woman. My intention is to have both books out by my 50th birthday, so wish me luck on that. I want to give a shout out to some of my top patrons on Patreon. Johan Erb, Michelle Dorn, and Kim Debus. You've been absolute champions, and I thank you. David Byrne, you are my top angel again and again. And this content would not have been produced without your generous support. Thank you from the bottom of my soul. Thank you. Now, folks, if you're enjoying and finding value in this content, please support the show in any way that feels best to you. Your 5-star rating and review on iTunes goes a long way. Sharing with loved ones that will benefit from this content gives you big karma points. And sharing on social media is always a huge plug for the show. And, of course, your financial support on Patreon or directly through PayPal would help to keep this boat afloat. My out-of-pocket expenses for this show, believe it or not, have never been fully covered by my audience yet. So that means they're coming out of my pocket. Notice there are no ads here. My goal is for this show to be listener supported. Yes, this is a labor of love. I'm going to need you, though, to get involved and help support if you want to keep this show going and going and going, which I sure do. So please consider becoming a patron today on Patreon by signing up for even just $1 a month. If everyone listening did that, my out-of-pocket expenses just for publishing would be covered. Now that doesn't include so many other expenses like plane tickets, meals, equipments, not even my internet costs, guys. There is a base monthly cost for subscriptions for me to host and things like this, to produce and publish the show and get the content out all over the internet to make it easy for you to access. We just submitted to Spotify, so you should be able to find it there soon as well. We also added Apple Play and LinkedIn if you prefer listening there. There are, in addition to our iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube channels, as well as, of course, my website, visionary-lifestyle.com, where you can also find the show notes for every episode. Now, if you're listening to this show, you know how important community is to us here. So I invite you to join our virtual community on Facebook. If you're not already in it, find our Facebook page and group, Visionary Lifestyle and Podcast, and the group Visionary Yoga Lifestyle and Podcast. That's linked to that page. Plus, you can follow my behind-the-scenes adventures on Instagram at visionary_lifestyle_guide. And for show announcements, look at Visionary Lifestyle Podcast on Instagram. Visit my website to find the show notes for this episode, for links to all of this. I've got loads of videos on the Facebook page with mini practices filmed around the world. Join me there for some more free stuff. I'm so excited for another year of bringing you life-altering tools and content to help activate your highest potential. If there's anything or anyone in particular you want more of, shoot me an email and let me know. Send that to guide, Guide, at visionary-lifestyle.com. My intention here is to be of service to your highest potential that, once activated, will automatically make the world a better place. Your effort and willingness to put in the time to listen to these conversations, get inspired, and do the practices is the most important thing you can do for yourself and the world. One of my favorite and guiding quotes is from Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching. He says, "If you want to awaken all of humanity, then awaken all of yourself. If you want to eliminate the suffering in the world, then eliminate all that is dark and negative in yourself. Truly, the greatest gift you have to give is that of your own self-transformation." I hope you'll join me for some retreats and workshops and different events I have coming up this year. It would be amazing to meet you guys in person. If you haven't signed up on my mailing list, you can do that on my website and get my free conscious eating ebook. You can also sign up for the mailing list on my Facebook page. So, leaving you with that inspiring quote, I want to leave you today with a share of a song that has been guiding my way all around the world. This is a true gift from a soul sister back in Ojai, California, named Shyla Ray Sunshine. The first time I heard her voice many years ago, her music moved me so deeply. Her music has been my constant companion as I make my way through the world. And this song in particular has gotten me through some weak moments. If I'm ever feeling low or weak, this song is sure to remind me of the truth that sometimes gets buried or hidden under the weight of the world or my own mental garbage. If you're driving, turn up the volume. If you're at home, I invite you to stop what you're doing and maybe even put some headphones on and give this song your full attention. Allow the lyrics to dive deep into the cells of your being and remind you of what's important, to bring you back to center, to empower you with the truth with a capital T. You are so powerful, tribe. Please remember that. Your presence and your choices and your vibration carry so much power. May we all continue to be the change we wish to see in the world. May we all continue on our paths of self-transformation with ease and grace. I wish you so much love and light on your personal journey. I'll be back next week with the first episode of Season 5, recorded in Thailand. There will be links to everything talked about in this episode, including to Shyla's music, so you can download this yourself in the show notes. You can find those on my website at visionary-lifestyle.com/podcast. This song is called Existence. Enjoy and namaste.
Stepping out of righteousness, recognizing oneness, no separation of you and I, of that of this. We are playing one game, everyone wins the same. I allow all things to exist today. I allow all things to exist in their own way. I exist in my own way, and I am a powerful creatress, living in the matrix, source of all wisdom in this bliss queen.
Thanks so much for answering the call to be here today. I'm so glad you're part of our tribe of activated rainbow warriors. If you found the show in any way empowering or inspiring, I would be so grateful if you would share the show on social media or with friends and family that you think would benefit from these conversations. And also, rate and review the show in iTunes. This is really the very best way to help support the show and help us get noticed by others who are looking for the sort of content that we're sharing. Now notice there are no outside ads playing here. That's because the show is supported by you, the listener. You can become a patron of the show with a small monthly donation by checking out the perks on our Patreon page at patreon.com/visionary lifestyle and signing up there. There's also a one-time donation button on the podcast page of the website if that suits you better. And just so you know, your donations help to cover the necessary out-of-pocket monthly expenses to produce the show and will also help us grow so we can inspire and educate even more people. And hey tribe, I'd love to hear from you. Visit me at visionary-lifestyle.com and please tell me your comments and questions. I really look forward to connecting with you. I love you. Namaste.